name is Nico Blitz.
And I'm Jackie Ramirez.
And this is the Mexipino podcast with a brand new background for everybody watching our clips or watching this on YouTube.
Yes. It's not fully done yet, but we are currently in the process of creating a new background for you guys.
Yeah.
And for us.
Yeah. Well, so, I mean, I think it was safe to say that a lot of us got suckered into Amazon Prime Day.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And I feel like we just buy stuff on Prime Day just because it's Prime Day and not necessarily that you need it, but you're just kind of like, okay, why? Yeah.
Well, that's the most sucker thing about Prime Day, right? Is first of all, I don't even know when Prime Day is every single year. I just feel like they do one announcement and then it's like, boom, Prime Day is in a couple days. Then everybody gets their wallets prepared and they start thinking about what's something that I've always wanted for myself. It's like Christmas coming in halfway through the year, basically.
Yeah, I will say that. But for me, I'm very much I like to be organized. And when it comes to Prime Day, I buy a lot of organizers. I buy a lot of little tubs of knickknacks here and there to make my life feel a little bit more organized. And I've been wanting to do that for the apartment, so I finally did it. And I got some food containers, and all of a sudden when I started packing things and doing my little ASMR, putting all the ramen on this and instant noodles on this tray, and then putting all the spaghetti noodles in this container, and he goes oh, this is nice. I'm like, yeah, this is what organization looks like, babe.
Well, you got to realize, coming from someone who was basically living in a bachelor pad for the past couple of years, right? It's there's no point, at least to me at that time, there's no point in buying a container on something that already has a container.
Yeah.
It never made sense to buy a container for cereal when cereal literally comes in its own container.
Yeah, but it's the bulkiness of the containers that come in the actual product. You have to admit, we freed up so much pantry space.
We definitely did.
Literally our pantry was full, and then when we got rid of all the boxes, because Nico is a person, and I'm too.
I'm a person too.
Where he likes to put the boxes just in the pantry and then leave the whatever product is in there. But once we started putting all the noodles in a container and we went from full pantry of 5 or 6 shelves to maybe 3 full pantry shelves.
Yeah, so I mean, all my fellas listening, especially if you got a lady, I will say get some containers for the pantries and whatnot, because it's actually kind of lit. Now I'm oh, now we can buy more random food or snacks that we want, because it feels like there's more space.
Yeah, and I told him, I was see, with groceries, we put there was a bag of the pretzel chips, if y'all know the ones from Costco.
Fire.
Now we put them in a smaller container, and it freed up so much space, because we had this big ass bag, and we're okay, we don't have the space for it.
Let's
mainly because our kitchen is a kitchenette.
Yes. Let's talk about Costco very quickly. What are the top 3 snacks to buy at Costco?
Ooh, top 3 snacks to buy at Costco? Does food court count?
No. Let's omit food court. Let's just talk about just pure snacks that you could find at Costco.
Dang. Okay, I'm gonna go with the pretzel chips.
Okay. Yeah, the pretzel chips are really gas.
Ooh, the chocolate covered almonds.
I'm allergic, so I wouldn't necessarily put the almonds on there. You know what I would put that's chocolatey, though?
What?
Those muffins. For some reason,
that's not a snack.
That's a snack.
That is not a snack. A muffin is
it's not breakfast, lunch, or dinner. It's literally a snack.
You could have a muffin for breakfast.
I mean, you could.
So it's not a snack.
It is a snack. I mean,
Definitely
you could have cereal for dinner.
The mini muffins are the bite-sized muffins are a snack.
Okay.
But the big ones at Costco, those are not a snack.
But the big ones, for some reason, those big muffins from Costco always just be hitting.
I don't know what my third one would be. I don't know. Maybe I'm really trying to think.
You know that chicken, was it like a chicken salad or the chicken dip?
Ooh,
the chicken dip from Costco?
The chicken salad from Costco.
Yes.
That's
tier. Gas.
Ugh, that with the pretzel chips. Wow, top tier.
Yeah, and then you just have a Costco muffin right afterwards to satisfy your sweet delights.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that.
Yeah. Anyways, we're going to get out of Costco really quick.
Yeah, for real.
But the reason why I brought up Prime Day was because, Jackie wanted to actually switch up the background. It's for everyone who's just listening. It's just purely orange now.
It's purely orange right now,
background.
But we're going to put like some more decorative things on it. I just wanted it to be more aesthetically pleasing for everyone who watches like our clips and who watches on YouTube. And for our audio listeners, we'll just describe it to you.
Yeah.
It's just orange right now.
Yeah, it's just an orange wall. We had to take down all of the soundproofing actually, and I put a super strong adhesive behind it. And so we thought we were just going to take off the soundproofing and then put on new soundproofing and spice it up. Come to realize, after we took off the soundproofing, there was so much adhesive still stuck on the wall. We had to get glue gun to like cut it out. We had to like get a chisel just to chisel out like the remnants of it. It was a pain in the ass. And then we had to get sandpaper just to like sand everything down. I was like, damn, bro, this is one wall. This is literally one wall.
Okay, so you ladies, let me know if this is a red flag. Because as we're doing this whole like project of our background, I learned something about Nico that I was kind of shook about. I learned that he doesn't know how to paint a wall.
I do know how to paint a wall.
No, you don't know how to paint a wall properly. You don't like, it's like, there was
properly
streaks like crazy. And I was like, oh my God. And then like, we have to do the lining where like one wall meets the other wall. So then like he's like doing it on the ceiling, and then I'm looking and he's like painting down. I'm like, sir, don't do that. It's gonna look really bad. And like my dad taught my brother and I like how to do things properly. And if you want things done the right way, just do it yourself and do it the right way. Nico, like, we're painting this wall, and I said it. I was like, I think this is like kind of a red flag that you don't know how to paint a wall. And then he was just like, why? And I was like, well, because who doesn't know how to paint a wall?
I know someone who doesn't know how to paint a wall. Shout out to our producer, Dino. He for sure does not know how to paint a wall.
Wait, why do you say that?
Because he doesn't look like he knows how to paint a wall. Dude, no, because all I'm saying is that... Sure. Call Dino.
I'm gonna be like, Dino, do you know how to like properly paint like a bedroom wall? Oh, wait, I don't have him under Dino. I have him under Demo D.
Watch. He's going to be, oh, what's that? What's up? And then he's going to listen to this podcast as he's editing and being like...
He's going to be like, oh my God.
What? He's going to say yes, but then he's also going to be like, I've never actually done it. I bet you.
If he answers, I don't know. We'll see. But like, yeah, I truly thought this was like a red flag in Nico, because I was just kind of like, oh, you don't know how to paint a wall? I ended up painting the entire wall.
But my thing is, just because you know how to paint a wall doesn't make it a red flag. That's like me saying...
It's because you don't know how to do like construction, baby. That's kind of a red flag.
Well,
wow,
I'm not a professional. Like, it's literally not my trade. That's like me saying, "Oh, you don't know how to DJ." That's a red flag.
No,
it doesn't make sense to me.
No, because like you need to learn some like basic stuff,
But this isn't basic.
Yes, because when you like move into like your own home, and you want to do renovations, like I particularly when I was like living at my parents'. Like, if I wanted my bedroom painted, we never hired anybody. My parents did it ourselves. Maybe it's just a Mexican in us. I don't know.
So let me ask you this, and let me prove my point, right? If it's so basic, why are there professionals who can do it? Why is someone considered a professional?
Because they do it for a living and as a career.
Exactly. So hence and therefore, it's not basic. Something basic.
No. Wait. Be learning how to like patch up the holes. Because then like Nico has some like things that he was hanging up on the wall before, like all the other like what's the word I'm looking for? Like records that he has and everything like that. And then I looked at the holes and I was just like, granted, we did kind of like a lazy job and that's fine. But like I was looking at the holes after we painted and I was just like, my dad would literally like throw a fit at me because he would be like, why didn't you spackle the holes and then sand it down and then da 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 da. Like me, I know like spackling, sanding. I know how to do it. Like, and I have a feeling you don't.
We just did it. I literally just did it.
The spackling, I just like down.
Yeah, but that's fine. And I totally get that. But all I'm saying is it's not common that everyone knows how to do this. That's all I'm saying. It's not basic. Like something basic is like cleaning a toilet. Like that's like, or like doing laundry. That's very basic.
Nico also didn't separate his darks from his lights. So him saying laundry is basic is crazy.
But all I am saying is that the camera's literally on me right now.
No, it's because you're controlling the camera.
Yeah,
you jerk.
Because all I am saying right now is that you don't paint a wall every day. You take a shit every day. You use a toilet every day. You wash the dishes every day. If we want to go back to basic, guess who washes the dishes every day? It's not Jackie.
Well,
it's me.
Who said that, like, I don't know how to wash dishes? I'm saying you don't know how to paint a wall. That's two completely different things.
Yeah, I'm saying one is basic and a necessity for every day.
Like, are they having an argument on the podcast? No, we're not.
I'm saying one thing is a basic necessity that you do every single day. I'm gonna just lower your mic now. I can literally just lower the mic.
Nico's just like over it because I said it was a red flag that he didn't know how to paint a wall.
If you don't know how to do the dishes, that's a red wall. That's completely...
That's a red wall?
A red
And Nico also doesn't learn how to speak.
That's a red wall. That is a red wall. But yeah, so hence and therefore, that's why we got the background now. And that's
just us explaining why we have a fucking orange wall.
An orange wall now. At least it's not a red wall now that I think about it. But we had to do this basically before we leave for Guadalajara, literally in a couple of hours. And we've just had like a very extensive week.
Yes.
This past Saturday we partooketh.
We attended.
Oh, we attended.
This past Saturday we attended Fluffy's 47th birthday.
I couldn't even believe that fool's 47 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I've been seeing Fluffy do comedy for a long time, but like, it still didn't dawn on me that he's 47.
Yeah, he's 47. And honestly, we were talking about it like at the station, me and the guys, and we were saying like, this is his 47th birthday party. Imagine his 50th. Like how crazy that's gonna be. So Fluffy had a lucha themed night, and it was absolutely crazy. We were kind of like guessing how much like he spent on the party because it was at his private compound, and I'm not gonna release that information, but well, you know, we were fortunate enough to be invited, and when we attended, like as soon as we walked in, we see Joe Coy.
Yeah, like no, not even before. It was before we walked in. We were parking the car.
Yeah, we were parking at valet. And Nico was funny because he was just like, I wonder if Joe Coy's gonna be there. And as we're pulling in, Joe Coy is right there.
Joe Coy was literally the first person to just like be there.
Yeah.
So, within our sight, and I was like, oh, he's here. I gotta meet this guy.
Yeah. So we entered, and then it was so extravagant. It was so awesome. I honestly wish, like I said, like to myself, I'm like, I don't want to throw a birthday party if it ain't like this. Like the amount of food that Fluffy had at his party was
my God.
Insane. He had any like Mexican food, dessert, like you could think of. He even had like vegan options for other people who you know didn't eat meat. He had lobster, steak, like vegan options, and then he had a taco stand. They had pastor, they had chorizo, they had asada.
And you know what? They also had the hot dog stand. Yeah, they had the street hot dogs over there too.
He had a street hot dog vendor, bacon wrapped. He had literally like antojitos. He had like la michoacana there. He had tamales and pupusas. He had like a whole open bar all night, which was insane. He had a lucha box or lucha wrestling ring. They actually did live lucha. They had like burlesque dancers. They had just performers, folklorico dancers. He had Build-A-Bear there.
Yeah, I just remember one time.
Oh, what happened?
Oh, go ahead. Talk about your Build-A-Bear.
No, it was just crazy that he had Build-A-Bear. Like, who has Build-A-Bear?
Yeah, it was nuts. I was standing next to one of our coworkers, Stryker, and then next thing you know, he just looks up. He's like, "Oh, there they are." And then I was like, "What?" He's like, "Look on stage." I looked on stage, and it was one of the dancers. Her tits were just like flying.
Yeah.
Like they were loose, and they just had like the stars on like
tassels?
the tassels on like her nipples, and I was like, "Oh yeah, those things are the girls are out tonight, ladies and gents. Girls are out."
It was funny. Stryker is so funny. So those of you guys who like listen to Alt 98.7, alternative rock station, Stryker, Booker and Stryker in the afternoons. He is so like awesome. Like we were like, Stryker, you want a Latina? And he is just like, I mean, yeah, I'm not opposed. Like
I'm not opposed. Like he's not opposed to dating a Latina.
Yeah, but like it was just so fun. It was so cool.
We got to Fluffy's party. Joe Coy is walking in with his family, and I'm telling Jackie like, "Yo, like we gotta go meet Joe Coy." So we see him at the front, and there's a Mickey and Minnie there.
Oh yeah,
I low key.
He did have Disney there.
Yeah, he had Disney there, which was nuts. I low-key wanted to take a picture with him, but then, I was like, yeah, Joe Coy's already taken the photo, whatever, it's all good. Jackie then continues to introduce me to Joe Coy, and because Jackie had priorly interviewed him. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, cool, Joe Coy, whatever. Cool guy. And I thought that was going to be the end of it. Next thing you know, it was kind of like there was a Filipino radar that everybody had that just destined me and Joe Coy to meet every single time that night. Jeff, who's Jackie's producer for the radio show, ended up introducing me to Joe Coy. He's like, "Hey man, have you met Nico?" And he's like, "Yeah, we've met, da-da-da." So, we start talking. And then Jeff takes a photo. I'm like, okay, cool. This is going to be the perfect opportunity for me to take a photo as well. Mm-hmm. So then I take my photo. And at that point, I've already taken a photo with the dude. We've chopped it up.
Twice.
Mm-hmm. Literally twice. There's no point in me meeting this guy a third time. Mm-hmm. But again, everyone's Filipino senses happened to happen again. And then Jay Cruz, Jackie's coworker, was like, "Yo, Joe Coy, have you met my boy Nico?" And then I'm just looking. I'm literally embarrassed at this point. Mm-hmm. I'm just like, yes, I've met him. We've took a photo and we've spoken.
I think even Joe at that point was just like, okay, who is this kid? Like,
yeah.
Like everyone's like introducing him to me again.
Yeah. And I was just like, I have nothing else to offer other than like, I DJ, I make some freaking music, but that's it. Like, I don't tell jokes as funny as you.
It's funny that you say that like that was like embarrassing because that wasn't even the most embarrassing part of the night.
Oh God.
The most embarrassing part of the night was we were meeting Emilio Rivera, and for those of you guys who don't know, he's a very well-known Latino actor. And if you know him, you know him. If you've like seen him, if you like see a picture of him, you'll know who he is. So we like I had never met him, and for me, like this was one of the very few times that I'm like, oh my God, this is like I'm starstruck for a second because he's a big deal, and very great actor in Mayans, in like so many other things. And like, so I introduced, the guys that I work with at the station introduced me, and they're like, "Hey Emilio, this is Jackie. She's part of the show now. We haven't met her yet, da da da." I introduced myself. I'm like, "Hi, Jackie, nice to meet you." He introduces me to his wife, and Nico was like off, like talking to one of his like college friends that he had randomly ran into. And he comes and I'm like, "Oh, Emilio, this is my boyfriend Nico." But I forgot to say, "Nico, this is Emilio," because I just assumed that like he knew one, and two, like I just took a brain fart and I forgot to say the second half of the introduction. And then Nico just goes, "La Tortuga." And if you guys are Breaking Bad fans, Danny Trejo played La Tortuga. in Breaking Bad.
Mind you, it was like midnight. I had already drank a little bit. And so, I was feeling good. Apparently, I got it wrong. I legit just got it wrong.
No, and then what's funny is that Emilio straight up looked at Nico and just goes, nah, that's the other one. And I was just like...
he said that's the other guy.
No, he said that's the other one. And then I was just like, oh my God. But I had never watched Breaking Bad. So then luckily Jeff, my producer, was there and said, sorry, bro, he's had too many drinks. Da, 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 da. And I was just so embarrassed because I was like, why did he just say that if he wasn't sure? Like, why didn't he check with me? Like, who is this? Like, usually Nico will do that too. Like, if he's like, who the fuck is that? I'm like, I don't know. Or, I'll say something like that. Usually you do that.
Yeah. Usually I do, but I was like 1,000% confident.
But Nico saw a Latino and thought it was Danny Trejo.
No. It was dark. I literally drank a little bit.
There was so many lights. What are you talking about?
It was dark. There was no roof.
Stage. There was a full ass lucha stage right next to us.
But there was no roof.
And an LED big ass screen.
Oh my God. All I'm saying is it was an honest mistake. That's all it was. I literally mistook him for someone else.
No, and then I think we left like 30 minutes after that encounter. I'm not even lying.
Oh yeah, we dipped out so quick. We dipped out because we had gotten food. We had gotten, I think you got a tamal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we were just like,
let's get the fuck out.
Yeah.
But before we headed out, we did see one of everyone's favorite childhood R&B singers, and Frankie J.
Yeah, he actually performed at the party. He was a special surprise for Fluffy because they're really good friends.
Yeah.
And Fluffy's like a fan of his music. So then all of a sudden we're in the taco line and we hear Frankie J singing and we're like, huh? And we get
so confused.
We were like so confused. We were already a little like on a good one. And I turn around and then Nico goes, oh yeah. And then just starts going towards the stage. I'm like, oh, he really loved Frankie J like that.
Yeah.
Like Nico put up his phone right away and started walking towards the stage. I was like, is that Frankie J?
I was pumped because he just did a little bit of like Sugar Sugar. No, he started off with Obsessed.
Yeah.
No Es Amor. And I was like, oh,
what is it? Obsessed?
Obsession. No Es Amor.
No Es Amor.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God, Frankie J for real here. And literally at that moment when I saw him perform, I dedicated my night to, I need to meet this guy. Because for all of you who don't know, like something very cool was that like I posted a video about Frankie J literally like 2 years ago. And he had reposted it on his story. And then I got to talking to Frankie J just, through DMs, just kind of saying what's up and, thank you for all the music over the past couple of years. And to me, I was like, I wonder if he's going to remember this. So then when Jay Cruz had introduced me to Frankie J, he was like, Frankie J had said like, hey, have we met before? And I was like, we haven't met, but I did like TikTok and Instagram videos and you reposted it and, we just got to talking there. He was like, that's right. You're the DJ guy on Instagram. And I was like, oh, thank God. Like, you're just so freaking cool. Then, we ended up having like a very small conversation just about like music, DJing. Like, he lives in San Diego and, just like very regular stuff.
And it was cool too because Frankie J, when I first got hired at the station, which probably like, actually, I think it's probably like a year ago today.
Yeah.
A year ago today, he sent, because this past Tuesday was my 1 year on radio.
Congrats.
Thanks. And then the day after, I remember Jay Cruz, he got a text message from Frankie J, and it was like an audio message of like Sugar Sugar, and he like mixed up the lyrics to say like, Jackie, how'd you get so fly? And I was just like, what the heck? And he like congratulated me on being part of the team. So then I told him, they introduced me because I hadn't met him. And so then I was just like, I was just like, yeah, I was like, actually, I'm the one that like you made like an audio congratulating me when I got hired. He goes, oh my God, yeah, like that's you. And I was like, yeah. He goes, what's so nice to meet you, da da da. So he's like a really genuine guy.
Yeah, super cool dude. I got to chopping it up with his son. His son also makes music too, so we might get something in the works.
Yeah.
But before we get to the next point of conversation, I would like to point out that the amount of R&B singers that try to steal my girl is insane, ladies and
What do
gentlemen.
you mean? There's literally been none.
What do you mean? You had a video with Usher where he's calling you baby, and I'm just like, okay. All right, bro. All right.
It's like in passing. It's like in passing. You're like, what's up, baby?
And then Frankie J over here talking about, oh, Jackie, how'd you get so fly? I'm like, how many more 2000s R&B singers
You wanna count
are there
rappers?
going to be? Huh?
You want to count rappers?
Oh, yeah, I could count rappers too. I'll name them. Shout out to Jid from Dreamville, leaving black hearts on my girl's comment section. And then shouts out to Bobby Schmurda for trying to grab her number.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
You know, Jid, you cool though, man.
You're cool. You're like,
Jid top tier.
He's all like, it's okay. He's all like, as long as we get to meet J. Cole, it's fine.
Yeah, you know, shout out to Jid. Stay rapping, my friend. Stay rapping.
And out of my girl's comment.
Yes.
But yeah, it was a really dope night. Shout out again to Fluffy for having us. You had too many cakes for I think one single
Hella
person.
Cakes. I mean,
and I forgot to tell you. Do you remember the Volkswagen like fridge?
Yes.
Inside the garage.
Yeah.
Okay. That was his personal shit.
Oh,
okay. So what had happened was like we were trying to look for water throughout the entire party because we've just been drinking, and like we didn't know if there was water at the bar, but then there was like a whole bunch of other places where you could grab water. So we were like, okay. And there was just like this fridge inside like the compound. And so we're all like, Jeff, my producer, is like, oh yeah, there's just a fridge in there. Go get it. So we get some water from there.
The Volkswagen
fridge. And then I find out yesterday that they were like, or the day after, or that Monday, that apparently it was his personal shit. It was Fluffy's personal like drinks.
That's wild.
Why that one water bottle was open, because he has a special drink that like is for him because of his like sugar or whatever.
Got you. Are you talking about the red ones that were at the bottom?
Yeah.
Okay. So all right, let me talk about this because people are legitimately nasty and do not care, right?
Oh yeah.
First of all, if I had known that was Fluffy's fridge, I would have been like, I'm not touching it.
Yeah.
Like, this is this man's personal thing, whatever. So when I open up the fridge, I see there's an assortment of things. There's Red Bull, there's Gatorade, there's no plain water. However, there were waters at the bottom of the fridge that were red. So I'm looking at this, I'm like, oh, I wonder if this is like a party favor to where it's like, you know, liquid IV, something to kind of just like balance out the alcohol. But I told myself, like, as much as I would like to grab that and quench myself, like, seriously, the fact that the lid is open, like, you know, it's not factory sealed, like, someone could have roofied it. And I'm not saying it was, I'm just saying someone could have.
There's a chance that like something could happen.
Yes, there's a potential. There could be some fun stuff in there. I don't know. So why, when me and Jackie sit down after we get a snack, there was literally 4 people sitting right next to us, each of them with one of those red water bottles, and I'm like, dog, like y'all are nasty.
Yeah, that's hella grimy.
Yeah,
but like, okay, it's like
disgusting.
It was apparently like Cruz had gone to go grab water from that fridge too.
Yeah,
so he saw the Diet Coke, because then also Fluffy, that's his vice. Like, he really loves Diet Coke, and so Cruz grabbed a Diet Coke, he grabbed a water, and then Diana had grabbed like, I think some of like the donuts that were there on the side, remember?
Yeah.
And so then somebody, one of like the other comedians that's Fluffy's friend, came up to Cruz. He's like, hey fool, like, Cruz, this is his personal shit. And he's like, is it? He goes, yeah. He goes, dude, you're at a fucking party full of free food and you go into Fluffy's personal shit? And he's just like, I didn't know, dog. Damn. He's like, I thought they actually stocked it for the party. He goes, no, that's his fucking personal.
Well, then where did Jeff get the idea that it was like open?
Because like I'm pretty sure Jeff probably saw somebody else go in there, but no one knew what the fuck was going on like at that party.
That's wild. I mean, it's Jeff's fault. It's really Jeff's fault.
It is Jeff's fault because then we went and then like he had told Cruz and then Cruz found out the hard way. But I mean, it's fine. It's whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And then I remember I even told Nico, I'm like, oh, look, they filled up that corner with like snacks too. Like they didn't miss any part of the venue. Like
those were his personal snacks too.
Those were his personal snacks. And then that phone that we saw on top of the coffee thing was Jeff's phone.
Okay, so Jeff just had it all wrong. Yeah. Jeff had it all wrong.
Yeah, because then Jeff was like, "Yeah, I even lost my phone at that place, at that like little spot too." I was like,
"Yeah,
was it on top of the coffee thing?" He goes, "Yeah." I was like, "Did the DJ have it afterwards?" He goes, "Yeah." I was like, "I told the DJ that was someone's phone." I was like, "I didn't check, but I just said, oh, there's a phone right there. It looks like."
See, this sounds like Jeff shouldn't have even been around there at all. This sounded like the party he did not want to go to. Well, not that he didn't want to go to, but he was just passing out a whole bunch of misinformation, and it led to him not having his phone anymore. I'd be damned.
Yeah.
I'd be so damned.
It was fun. So shout out to Fluffy for having us.
Yeah, shout out to Fluffy. Happy birthday, Fluffy, 47th, one of the dopest comedians of all time. Mm-hmm. Just because he's had like such a long run.
Yeah, he has. And like he's had so much success now. And like it's only gonna get bigger, I think.
Yeah,
so
1,000%.
Yeah,
I remember seeing a clip on like I think it was like Reels or something, and the reason why I felt like Joe Coy was gonna be there was because I had seen a clip of Joe Coy being on Fluffy's show.
Oh yeah.
And Joe Coy was actually and they were in a classroom, right? Mm-hmm. I think Fluffy was a teacher in this scene, mm-hmm. and Fluffy and Joe Coy, they were teaching each other basically Mexipino.
Yeah.
Like the differences and a lot of similarities between Mexicans and Filipinos. And you know, you guys have been listening to this podcast for a long time, so we don't want to go through the laundry list of like all the similarities. But it did raise a question in my head because even though we know the similarities between Mexicans and Filipinos, me as a Filipino, mm-hmm. I don't necessarily know the difference between like Mexican and Hispanic.
Or Latino.
Latino. Yeah. Latino and Hispanic, rather. I do not know the difference between Latino and Hispanic. And the way I explained it to somebody who had asked me, I'm just like, well, I think Hispanic is someone who speaks Spanish, but I think Latino is like someone of like Latin descent. And that was me just purely not knowing.
Yeah, well, like I identify as Latino or Latina. And sometimes like I can also be Hispanic, you know, but like I identify, like if someone were to ask me like, oh, what are you? I'm like, oh, I'm Latino, you know?
Okay.
I don't normally say like, oh, I'm Hispanic. And I don't know why. I think just for me, it's like I grew up like marking the box that said Latino, Hispanic, or, you know, whatever. So yeah. I just always correlated like, well, I'm Latino, but I can also be Hispanic.
Oh, okay. I get that.
I need to go get my phone real quick because it has my diagram on it.
Yeah, so Jackie has an entire diagram just basically identifying the differences between Latino and Hispanic because I'm still in a situation where I don't know, right? It's kind of similar to me to where like on those boxes, I would either check, it's either Asian / Pacific Islander, and there's like no in between, even though those are two completely different narratives.
I also get confused because like for those like Scantrons where you have to fill out like, are you
Scantrons?
Yeah, like are you like Hispanic, Latino, or like whatever? And then there's a second one that's like trying to get to like the root of it, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, there's nothing in here. But anyway, the difference between Latino and Hispanic. So Latinos include Brazil. They don't include Spain.
Latinos.
Yeah. Latino includes Brazil because they speak Spanish.
Okay.
But they don't include Spain because Spain, I believe, speaks Portuguese. Right?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Right? I think. Yes.
Yes.
Right?
Sure.
Hold
Let's
on.
just say yes.
Let me see. Hold on. What language? Hold on.
Is it
what?
Pig Latin?
No. What language?
I think it's Portuguese. I think in Spain they speak Portuguese. Unless they speak Portuguese in Portugal.
Brazil speaks Portuguese.
Okay.
Yeah, because in Spain they speak Spanish.
Okay. So
okay.
Let's rephrase that whole thing.
Okay. Latinos include Brazil. They do not include Spain. Hispanics include Spain, do not include Brazil.
Got it.
So Hispanic includes Spain because they speak Spanish, but they don't include Brazil because they speak Portuguese, I believe.
Portuguese. Okay.
And then for Latino includes Brazil, but they don't include Spain. And everything in between, like, these are apparently like everyone that can be both Hispanic and Latino.
Okay.
Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Costa Rica, Cuba, Dominican Republic, Ecuador, El Salvador, French Guiana, I think. Don't correct me. Please correct me, but I'm pretty sure I said it wrong. Guatemala, Haiti, Honduras, I don't know how to say that. Martinique? After...
Let me see.
Honduras...
Martinique.
I would say Martinique.
Yeah.
Martinique, Mexico, Nicaragua, Panama, Paraguay, Peru, Puerto Rico, Saint Bartholomew? No. Bartholomew, it's MY. Saint Martin, Uruguay, Venezuela. So those are can be both Latino and Hispanic.
Okay, so really all we need to know is that like
Spain and Brazil.
Yes.
So if you're Brazilian, you can be Latino, but you can't be Hispanic because you don't speak Spanish.
Yes.
If you're from Spain, you are Latino. Or no, if you are from Spain, you are Hispanic, but you can't be Latino.
Yes. Okay. Got it.
Because you're not of Latin descent.
Got you. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Okay, that makes sense. Spain is just a group of people who speak Spanish.
Yes.
Okay. So now let me ask you a question. Now that we know the differences between Latino.
I think. We're going to go with I think.
We're going to go with I think. So let me ask you this. If I took a Spanish class in high school and, you know, I'm very fluent in Spanish now, would that technically make me Hispanic?
No. That's not how it works, boo.
Why?
Because you have to be of Spanish descent. Does that make sense?
So it still needs to be part of your ethnicity.
Yeah, you can't just be like, I think I'm gonna be Hispanic today. I think today I feel Latino. Like,
well, I mean, I'm not saying all of that, but I'm saying
Nico
like
is the type of like Asian to be like, oh, I feel Asian or I feel Pacific Islander today.
No, but okay. First of all, I'm the type of Asian. Now Jackie's like typing specific groups of Asians now. Let me just clear that up. That is what she is doing right now.
Well, because you say sometimes you're like, I don't know, sometimes like, you know, I use Asian to my benefit, but then I use Pacific Islander to my benefit, so.
Well, because they only give us one box to check.
Yeah, I actually want to see that
They
box.
only give us Asian American / Pacific Islander. They don't give us another choice. So it makes me feel like, oh, okay, well, I have to be one or the other or both.
Let's look at the SAT ethnicity options.
Okay.
All right.
Jesus Christ. First of all, can any of y'all remember what you got on the SAT?
God, no.
I got maybe like 1,100, if that. I don't even know if that's good.
Nico only remembers because it is good.
No, is it? I don't know. What's it out of? 14?
I think it. Yeah. See, that's how you know he was a nerd.
Just because I knew I needed the SATs.
Okay.
My mom forced me. All right.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. Okay. See, this is like, okay. Are you Hispanic or Latino? And then it's just yes or no. And then
what?
That's not even a proper way to answer that. Like,
oh my God, that's not even a proper question.
Yeah, like, so that's just like one, like, yeah, okay.
Oh my
Regardless
God.
of your answer to the prior question, please indicate how you identify yourself. Select one or more. American Indian or Alaska Native, Asian, Black or African American, Native Hawaiian or other Pacific Islander, white. So what would you pick? Because Asian and then like Native Hawaiian or other Pacific Islander are two different things.
Asian or other Pacific Islander are two things?
No. So it's like one option is Asian, and then the second option is Native Hawaiian or other Pacific Islander. So like, what would you choose?
Oh, I mean, in that case, since they're putting Asians separately from Pacific Islanders, then I choose Asian.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, no shade to my Pacific Islander brothers. Melikilikimaka and all that.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
But wait. So I have a question about that, right?
I'm confused at this. Are you of Hispanic or Latino descent, Cuban, Mexican, Puerto Rico, South or Central American, or other Spanish culture? But I'm so confused with that.
So I have a question. Why is it that the first question they asked was, are you Latino or Hispanic? Yes or no? Mm-hmm. And then the follow-up question is, regardless of your answer, can you pick one of these? Which had nothing to do with being Latino or Hispanic?
This is interesting. It says ethnicity, Hispanic or Latino, not Hispanic or Latino, and then race.
Well, let me see that. Let me see this.
The SAT is hella confusing.
What
Look, the SAT alone is confusing on what the fuck you actually are when it comes to your race or ethnicity. How they expect me to get like a 1500 on the SAT when they confuse me.
It says pick an ethnicity, Hispanic or Latino, not Hispanic or not Latino. Then race. Select all that apply. American Indian or Alaska Native, Asian, Black or African American, Native Hawaiian or other Pacific Islander or white.
The SAT is just confusing.
What the heck? I mean, I guess in a sense you could say like you are Hispanic or Latino and then you could be mixed with like American Indian, Asian, any of these things. Yeah. So I think it's just asking. It's basically asking if you're a mixed baby or not. Who speaks Spanish or not.
Our poor kid is going to have a fucking meltdown.
Well, I'm having a freaking ulcer just trying to figure out the answer to all this. It's like, well, I don't know because these questions are confusing as hell.
I don't know. I'm literally looking up questions as I go to like literally clarify shit for me.
But so wait.
What? Okay.
What's happening?
I'm confused.
Why?
Because then it says Latinos are not a racial classification, however, but an ethnic group.
Huh?
Genetic studies made in the Mexican population have found European ancestry ranging from 56% going to 60%. I'm so confused.
So Latinos are not a race?
No, they're an ethnic group, which is why like Latinos and Hispanics aren't classified under the race category when it comes to race in like the SAT bubbles. It's separate because we're an ethnic group.
So according, wait. So what you're saying is, according to the SATs and what you just found,
and on Google, because I Googled like race, ethnicity, like I literally just Googled like race versus ethnicity in Mexicans, and then it said like Latinos are not like a racial group but more an ethnic group. So then what are Hispanics? They're an ethnic group as well.
Well, Hispanics would be people who speak Spanish based off of their ancestry.
Yeah, relating to Spain or to Spanish-speaking countries, especially those of Latin America.
Okay. I think I'm okay.
According to the U.S. Census.
Okay. I'm getting a little bit of clarity. I'm getting just a little bit of clarity.
I'm just more confused, but I just know I identify as Latino.
No. So I think if Hispanic is based off of like, that is what that's like based off of your roots, right? Like your like based off like how your ancestors spoke. If you spoke Spanish, you're Hispanic, right? So I think you could also argue, because there is a group of Filipinos in the Philippines who speak Spanish, they are Hispanic. You could argue that. Yeah. But then there was also, remember, like recently my brother and I were like having like more so my brother is like having an existential crisis about if we're indigenous too, like my family. Because like there's like certain traits that my dad's side has that are more indigenous. Okay.
And so he thinks that like on my dad's side, we were part of like an indigenous tribe in Mexico.
What traits specifically do you know?
Skin color, facial features, like just like things. And then that apparently my great grandmother on my paternal side, which is my dad's side, that she spoke an indigenous language, that she knew some indigenous language. So now we think we're part like indigenous. I need to do a 23andMe test. So like that's all the fuck I need to do.
So you guys are what, like Mayan or Aztec?
Like no, we're not Mayan or Aztec. Or I think on my mom's side we might be, but like I think on my dad's side we were part of a different like indigenous tribe. Which I think is pretty cool. But like we've never visited for where my grandma is from on my paternal side. But I've always thought like, because I look at my dad and I look at my mom and I'm like, they like their features are completely different. I look at my grandparents and I'm like, their features are completely different.
You know what? I'll leave it at this, right? I think y'all should go to whatever our latest post is on Mexipino Podcast and just put blatantly in the comments, Jackie needs to get a 23andMe.
Yeah. I think I should. But then I don't want the government to have my DNA.
They already have everything. They literally have everything. They have your birth certificate. They know where you shit. They have a strand of hair from you from the moment you were born. They have your saliva. They have your footprints. They have everything. So I think it would behoove you to just get it anyway.
I think one of my uncles did a 23andMe test. What if I find out like I have like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to know some family secret.
I don't know. Anyways, we're going to keep all those family secrets to yourselves for now, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you got enough of, you understood what the differences between Hispanic and Latino is. We're just going to keep it as Brazilians are Latino and Spain is Hispanic. If you're anything else in between those things,
you're fine.
You're both. You are literally both.
And if you also did a 23andMe test, let me know how I went in the process.
Yes. Amen to that.
I want to find out things.
All right. Well, we're going to head over to Guadalajara, ladies and gentlemen. We will let you know about all our trips when we get back. My name is Nico Blitz.
I'm Jackie Ramirez.
And this is the Mexipino Podcast. We will see y'all next week. Bye.
Adios.